Hi, this is Dorothy Smith. I am going to show you today the Jingle Joy 6x6 Christmas Memories album. I normally don't do these smaller albums, but I just decided to do this one because this is a year that we do things differently, right? So I'm just showing you what comes in the kit, and you have several choices of how you can get the kit. So here are the background and texture papers that come with it. So I'm just showing you the front and the back side of the papers and a nice candy cane with a black and white dot. You get a wonderful sticker sheet that has some shiny parts with the UV coating, which is always really neat, and a whole package of sparkles, and of course our handy dandy photo placeholders. And we also get, look at this, flip flaps. So that makes things fun and interactive. Love that. So more and more, lots of photos can go in this little album. And then we also get the embellishing thread in a pretty silver. And they sent a package of Picture My Life cards to go with this paper. And so we use bits and pieces of the 3x4 and the 4x6 cards. So it makes for a really fun thing. So we get some linen cardstock, and we get 5 sheets of white daisy cardstock. And those are going to be cut into 6x6 pieces. So it's a 20-page album. So it took me probably 2 hours and 15 minutes to put it together, but I upped my speed, and I'm just showing you that there's a Cricut Design space, a file that you can click on, and if you have Cricut Design Space, you also get a picture of the Evergreen glitter cardstock with the kit. And those are the snowflakes that design file will cut out for you. So you're going to be cutting out 20 snowflakes. Now, if you don't have a Cricut or a Cricut Design Space, then you can use whatever snowflake you have. The snowflakes are about 2¼ inches across. So I'm going to go over, I had a heck of a time with getting my Cricut to cut the glitter paper correctly. So there's a special setting for glitter paper, just so you know. And I would test it on some paper before I go and use the only sheet of Evergreen glitter cardstock I've got, to make sure that it cuts through something that, is a glitter type thing. So I had a lot of that light julep green, light green glitter cardstock, and I used some of that because I had quite a bunch of it. And like I said, it's a very special setting on the Cricut. Whether you use it as I have the Air 2, and so in Design Space, it shows you on browse types of cardstock, it will show you glitter specifically, and that's what you want to cut through that very thick paper with all that glitter to cut through too. So anyway, there's our 20, excuse me, our 20 pages of 6x6. And then the linen is going to get cut, pardon me, into like 4¼ by 6¼ sizes. So they are going to be the background for the pictures. Now, when you buy this kit, you can buy it with an album, a 6x6 album, and page protectors. I'm sorry. Or not. And I chose to just go ahead. I figured, well, I've got albums and page protectors, so I just went ahead and bought the kit without that. Well, I had 6x8 albums, and you really need the 6x6, so I had wished I had purchase the one that had the album and the page protectors to go with it, but So anyway, I did order a 6x6 album, and I'll show you at the end what it looks like all put together. So like I said, all of these pieces are going to be the photo mat for the pages. So each of the pages needs to have their zip strip cut off. So that's a 1/2 inch that you're taking off of one end. And the instructions that you can download from, if you buy it on my website, there will be a downloadable file for you to print the guide that I have off to the left there. That is a guide I printed. It was not sent with the kit, just so you know that you don't get instructions. Because this is a special purchase, you don't get the instructions with it, so you can just download it and print it off for yourself. So I'm cutting this really cute paper, and you're going to cut 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 pieces, and then you cut strips that are 5 inches by 1 inch and 4 inches by 1 inch. So that is, I'm doing the 4-inch. And the pages are not hard to put together. So, and there's not a huge amount of detail, but there's enough detail that it does take a little while to put this together. But I have to say, I would totally do the smaller album again. It was fun to do. So this tree paper is going to get cut into 2x2 squares. So I'm doing a 2-inch strip, and then I'm doing another 2-inch strip and some 1-inch strips that get cut up. So we have a strip that, I'm getting fancy with the cutting. So this is going to be 2 pieces that are 2x2. I just decided to cut another 2-inch strip because it's easy. So I'm cutting these into 2x2s. And that's going to be a design element. So they require, they say, of the tree paper, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares that are 2x2, and then 2, 4, 6 pieces that are 1x3s. And I just cut some extras in case I needed them. And then this, kind of trying to keep it organized here. So I'm just going to cut 2x2s. And I'm cutting extra. So you just to have everybody's going in the same pile, because it's going to be, the cutting guide looks kind of complicated, until you really start doing it, and it's not too bad. And as long as you keep your stacks all together, you'll be able to sort through them. I would not recommend sorting all the pages, because you would probably drive yourself nuts. So there's a 2-inch strip, and then there's going to be a 5-inch strip. And the 5-inch strip is going to get cut into some 1-inch strips, 4 1-inch strips, and 3 1.5-inch strips. I think I'm lying. That was the dotted paper that gets that. So the diagonal gets the 2-inch strips, a 2-inch, so you can cut some 2x2s, and also a 4-inch that gets cut into 4x1s, and Then there's a 5-inch that gets cut into 5 by 1.5. So these are getting cut into 1-inch strips. And they get 2, 4, 6 of those. And then we're down to the 3-inch piece, and you get 4 of those. 4 of 1 by 3s. So like I said, it's not, this is kind of a little whimsical looking. It's, I kind of wished I had a young daughter that could, just take her pictures and then put them in the album. I don't know that my 25-year-old son is going to be so keen on that, but that's what I'm for. So I've already started taking some pictures of Philip and the dogs. Okay, so this is are obviously the large black and gray dots, and that's going to be a 5-inch piece and a 2-inch piece, and the rest is scrap. So we're going to do 3 2x2s, and we're going to do 5 inches. We're going to do 4 that are 1 inch, and then 3 that are 1.5 inch. So I liked on these shorter pieces, I like to measure on the right side of the cutting board there because it goes to, I think, 1.5 inches. So this is I think it's the black background with the lights. And we're going to do 2 2-inch strips. And that is all left over there. So they're going to get cut to 3 pieces that are 2 by 6. And then 1 piece that is 2 by 2. And then I've already done all of my snowflakes. So I have 20, I think I've got 20. I may have messed up a couple of them. But I've got almost 20 of the Evergreen snowflakes. But I have a whole bunch of the julep snowflakes. So I'm using those together because I thought I need to just, those are a lot of snowflakes. So I thought I would just use them. But that is not something that you have to do. So I'll have a little added thing in here. But that's not something. All you need is the green snowflakes, the green glitter snowflakes. So one thing that they tell you on page 1 to do is to take the Picture My Life card and trim off this story. And then you're going to make a little banner out of it. And so the instructions for the page are just very simple, very easy to understand. And so I get out my background and a 4x4 and then a 6x6. And so that is going to how they stack there. So I think for the most part, this is pretty self-explanatory. And so probably what I'll do is maybe play some music and you can watch me putting it together, and then I'll pick up at the other end and talk about the whole album after it's put together. Hi, I just wanted to interrupt the music to say this little scallop strip you have to be very, very careful with. It has a tendency to kind of the front part becoming disconnected from the back part. So when you're removing that little scalloped piece, just take great caution because it is very tender. And I am using the best glue that I've found to use with the Snowflakes is the liquid glass. So, turn it to
kinda cold, but you know you've got a hand to hold. Come along out and play, what a wonderful day. Your white cheeks are so hard to resist, and those red lips are longing for a kiss. Come along out and play, what a wonderful day. Christmas is almost here, let's toast to a very good year. It's just you and me, chilling right under the tree. Stay outdoors, a different kind of date. I'm all yours and I can hardly wait. Come along, start the show, having fun in the snow. Your white smile is brightening up my day. Your blonde hair out of a fairy tale. Come along, start the show, having fun in the snow. Christmas is almost here, let's toast to a very good year. It's just you and me, chilling right under the tree. Whoa, I love it. Christmas is almost here, let's toast to a very good year. It's just you and me, chilling right under the tree. Chilling right under the tree. We're chilling right under the tree. Chilling right under the tree.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? What the gladsome tidings be, which inspire your hapless song? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. See him in the mangle, whom the choirs of angels praise. Mary, Joseph, lend your aid, while our hearts in love we raise. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay, keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east, beyond them far, and to the earth it gave great light, and so it continued both day and night. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Born is the King, born is the King, born is the King of Israel.
The angels are singing a sweet Christmas song. The snowflakes are dancing in time. The children in rows, and they all sing along. From a distance you hear bells and chimes. The candles are burning as bright as the stars that shine from the heaven above. And everyone's joining from near and afar in spreading the message of love. The cribs on the ledge of that old fireplace, and the stockings are hanging below. The trees in the corner glowing in grace, and we're hanging up the mistletoe.
back and I am putting the silver, the embellishing thread down with Tombow, and those little stars that I'm putting down are the insides of the little snowflake, and they're too cute to not use, so I just decided to throw some around. So I have a hard time throwing things like that out. But I've also been using them as the lighter color, the julep, on top of the center of the evergreen star, a snowflake, just to make it stand out a little bit more. But, you know, that was just because I had so many darn snowflakes that I couldn't not use. So I sort of ran short of I think I must have ripped a couple of the evergreen snowflakes, so I didn't have the evergreen to put on top of these juleps, but that's okay. I mean, you know, you could actually use other stickers, but I went ahead, and since I had so many snowflakes, I just went ahead and used them like that. So the flip flaps are just a fun way of adding another picture to your pages. And you want to arrange them in such a way that the flap gets folded underneath the either something, in this case it's the picture frame, the photo frame, photo mat, or under cardstock. So you don't want those to show, so they have to get folded under with the glue against the bottom edge, so that you don't see it. It's kind of a little bit of a difficult concept, and you kind of have to, you know, see which way the flap is going to flip, so that you know which way to put your pictures and which way to put your Picture My Life card. So, you know, when you flip it up, you're gonna have to put the picture in sort of upside down for it to be right side up, if you know what I mean. So there's all sorts of cute little stars and what have you on this sticker sheet. And so I'm putting some of those to use. And the cards sometimes you cut pieces of the card off, sometimes you cut, like the stockings get cut out. So there's so many different things that you can do with the Picture My Life cards, and they're great for journaling cards. So this is the strip that I just wanted to put something down at the bottom because it looked kind of empty to me, and I just wanted to add a little pizzazz. So I realized that is the piece where I put the red glitter tape. I realized I was supposed to use that border. So there I am putting the glue part of the flap underneath, and then folding. That's actually kind of scored, so it folds pretty easily on the flip flap. So those are great things. We have them in all sorts of sizes, and you can extend your pages tremendously with using flip flaps. You can make waterfalls and do all sorts of things with them. And so I had forgot initially to use the silver embellishing thread. So that's why I had to go back and put it on some of the pages that I had already finished. But not a big deal. And like I said, our strongest glue is definitely the liquid glass. And so, these little snowflakes they're thick and, kind of heavy. And so that's why I decided to use the liquid glass. And then, of course, our gems get put in various places around the pages. So each page gets at least 3 gems to it. You can kind of put them where they're suggested or put them where you want them. So this is the last page if I'm not mistaken, of the all the pages that we put together. And I'm just going to move everything aside and try to figure out what order they go in. And it doesn't really matter what order they go in. But just for, you can put them in any order that you want. And you could actually use the last page as the first page and kind of give an introduction to your 2020 Christmas and the different things that you did differently with the 2020 Christmas, because it's going to be different. At least it is in this house. I mean, I didn't put any decorations up, and not because of 2020, but just because after surgery, I still don't have, I'm around 5 weeks out of the surgery, and I still am short on stamina. So, usually I'm over the top with Christmas decorations, but not this time. You're going to have to catch me next year. Okay, so here are the pages. I'm just trying to figure out which ones at least get matched up to each other. And you can see that the lighter julep center of the snowflake kind of sticks out from the dark evergreen snowflake. But you don't even have to use those little things. They are fun to use as little snowflakes hither and yon. So I do like the way the flip-flaps. I mean, that was really nice that we got the flip-flaps included into this album. So I like the candy canes, and I like the little 2x2 squares and all the little strips. You can see why, cutting all the strips, what an effective little background it makes. And so this is what I was talking about. So I'm going to take off the red glitter tape, and I'm going to go ahead and put on what they originally suggested was this little border. And I like it. I mean, it just kind of goes with all the little stockings and everything else. So I decided to change it out when I realized that's where that particular thing came from. And so, no big deal to change it out. And it does I think it looks better than the as much as I love my red glitter tape. So there's the first page. So those are all the pages. Now I'm going to show you my album. So I cut out using the design space. The Merry Christmas and the 2020 are all close to my heart files for Cricut. And so when you buy them, they show up in your design space. And I used a big holiday cheer sticker from the sticker sheet to put on the first page there. And this is what it looks like in the little page protectors. I think it came out really cute. I'm real happy with this little book. Now what I did was I made a slit very carefully in the page protector so that you could actually manipulate the flip flap. So you want to kind of make a little hole at the start and end and then slit it in between, but you want to be careful that you're putting it in the right place. So, and there's the Merry Christmas with the little stars. That's from the sticker sheet also. And there's the end of my album. So I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun. Thanks. If you haven't subscribed, just subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.